Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy, joined here by Mr. Casey, Mr. Cuz. We will be presenting today episode 11 of Banghead Financial. Obviously, quick market recap. A lot of pain and suffering going on out there. The U.S. markets are down between 5 to 8%, depending on which market you're looking at. The crypto total market cap, as of the time of this recording, is sitting at 1.62 trillion, which is down almost 300 billion altogether from last week. Now, at the time of this recording as well, Bitcoin is sitting at 35,250, and ETH is sitting at 2450, roundabout. Which is very strange because this is almost like the level where I entered the market at. I mean, I entered back in end of June, beginning of July, and I think Bitcoin was like 32K, and I think ETH was like between like 2,000 and 2,200. So market retracement. Couldn't find any like fundamental news as to why everything was down. I mean, and it's not just U.S., it's not just crypto, it's like the entire global economy is, something's happening.
No traces?
I couldn't find, anything to, point to and be like, okay, well, that's probably affecting something. This is really strange. Usually you would hear some, with a severe drop like this. But anyway, moving on to news. The FOMC, the Federal Open Markets Committee, will be meeting on January 25th and the 26th. Coming out of this meeting, they will probably decide on what the Fed is going to do with the interest rates for the upcoming year. I mean, a lot of people, as we have covered in previous episodes, believe that there will be 3 incremental increases, with the first one going from the rate as it is right now at 0.25%. First one going up to, 0.5%. And then, the third one will probably bump it up to 0.75, with the final one bumping up to a full 1 percentage point.
If they want the markets to recover, wouldn't they lower the interest rates?
Well, the problem with lowering the interest rates is that allows inflation to run rampant. So they're trying to rein inflation in, and realistically, it doesn't matter what they do, whether it is on the inflation side or on the market side, there is going to be pain to be had somewhere. But we won't know what the actual numbers will be until they have this, meeting coming up here Monday and Tuesday, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see what happens out of that.
I think a lot of people have issues with. I think to be honest, they shouldn't do anything. The Fed shouldn't do anything. I think they should just allow things to restabilize. I think a lot of people miss the thing when you have a problem that sometimes you do have to, or most of the time you do have to do something, but sometimes it's best not to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from there, but at the same point in time, when they do nothing, you run into a 2008 situation, and we all know how that worked out.
Well, that was more along the lines of needed regulation.
Yeah.
That wasn't like an interest thing. That was like the laws and the government and the regulation couldn't keep up with, and sometimes laws that are in place aren't enforced, and then you run into the same problems.
I mean, yeah, that is true, but at the same point in time, I don't know, and that's realistically a conversation to be held on a different day. But I mean, what would you, if you do nothing? Okay, do you do something or do you do nothing?
If you do something,
what if what you try to do just makes everything worse?
This isn't a Fed.
It's kind of like,
it's not a Fed issue to me. I mean, the real issue is free trade. That is the.
Has nothing to do with the Fed.
I understand that. I said it has nothing to do with the Fed. That's the real issue on like. Basically, the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. That is the real issue in this country. Is the free trade agreements completely destroyed, and are still destroying the American economy.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Couldn't they just make it easier for people to start businesses?
Well, I mean, it is easier for people to start businesses when the interest rates are low, because if they borrow money for like a small business loan and everything, they won't have to pay more interest and everything to pay it back. However, at the same point in time, with inflation numbers over 7% over the course of a 12-month period at this point in time, a lot of people don't see a 7% pay increase throughout the course of it. In fact, I would venture to say that nobody sees a 7% pay
unless you're a
increase
CEO.
over the course of a year.
Unless you're a CEO or a member of Congress.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Anyway, moving on. The country of El Salvador, with the Bitcoin price falling, they decided to buy the dip. They purchased another 410 Bitcoin.
I think it's a smart move.
Which, yes, I believe that moves. I mean, I don't have an exact number, but I think that moves their entire nation, governmental holding, I think close to like 1,500 Bitcoin, which is a decent amount, especially if you're trying to drive this Bitcoin, finance system and everything.
If it works out for them.
The only thing I'm disappointed is they didn't buy another 10.
10 more Bitcoin?
10 more Bitcoin.
Why 10?
Why is that?
Before 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, you want to say something?
I now completely
You got nothing down.
I was going to say.
Totally derailed. All right, now.
Could you imagine if El Salvador became one of the richest countries in the world because they bought all the Bitcoin?
They might. It's very possible. Which, in an underlying way, leads us into our final topic of discussion. There's this concept, in the investment community of diamond hands. Now, what are diamond hands? It means no matter what the market does, you just hold on because you know the market's going to go back up.
Right.
Now, what a lot of whales and institutional players and everything they try and shake people out and get the price lower so they can buy as much as they can down there and then just make all the money. So, with in particular the terrible week that pretty much every market has had, I want to get each of your opinions on whether you believe that, are you thinking about selling anything? Are you thinking about just riding this out? I'm in the camp of ride it out. It's going to go back up.
I'm just riding it down. Yeah.
You know my stand. I'm just watching.
Just watching. Sitting on the sideline.
Sitting on the sideline.
Do nothing.
Yeah.
Doing nothing at all. Okay. Fair enough.
You ride that bucking bull long enough, it chills out. It gets tired.
There you go. You heard it first. Ladies and gentlemen out there, if you enjoyed this particular bit of content, remember to like, share.
Like, subscribe.
Hit that bell button.
Gets worse every time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for episode 11 of Banghead Financial. Terrible, terrible week for investors. I'm, of course, Greg, a guy, joined here by Mr. Coase and Mr. Casey. Thank you for watching.